Ashite, Ashiwan vibrations, every baka. May your mind buckas and souls be all. May your omits be sound. May your buckas be leavened off the ground. When we keep to the breath, the orth, the mothor, the seon, the soul of Ra guides and keeps you all. Ayan matata elai, say el, say I. Amen Ra, Christ or a chaplain. I am Truth Awareness, True Talk. Come be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma-Elf. That's Intelligence, Aminology to Angodu. This is Sound Logic. And with all that being offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice. To Ray is Ray 1820. Go to Google, go to Apple, download the Kaga Dora app. You can go to mothor.org. You can bookmark that website. Okay, when you bookmark the website, you can create a tab and you can put that tab on your phone screen, any monitor screen. When you click it, it will go to the browser. It will open up and give you access to our digital sundial. Okay, this will put you on the 90 shu, which is 90 seconds spiraling up. Okay, this is the real timeline. Okay, it doesn't go by sixes. Everything goes by the continuation of 9. Okay, 8 plus the continuation. It's a spiral. It's not a number. Okay, the symbols only give you the opportunity to wield the ether as the dead. Okay, that's why the symbols are placed on top of what is actually real. Okay, and then that will give you real results, whether it be agreeable or disagreeable. But this is the only way these draconians can operate, because they are a parasite. They only have one layer. They're not a life form. Okay, it's an operating system. It's a virus. That's why it's very, very important to realize most of the things we need to do for this battle that we are in are energetic things. Okay, they're etheric things. They're things that require for you to reconstruct, reprogram, deconstruct, deprogram. Okay? The battle truly is with you, not with everything that is being coming at you through the media and everywhere else. Okay, that's to keep you distracted from yourself. Okay, and what's being promised to come, which has already arrived. We have the red sun representing the second coming, and whether you guys want to accept it or not, I represent the voice of that red sun. For 20 years I've been, like, I just put out a poem that I wrote 20 I published 20 years ago, Mute Until Humbled. Okay, I've been on this ride for a while. I'm the official minister. Okay, the timeline is here, the sound logic is here. These are the things that are going to take us out of the loop. So go to jesus.com, sign up, get the iBucket to Omen, get the PDF or the image file of the Mathorian Kagadora, and you also get access to the erectionary.com. I'm building the official sound logic Ta'angodu decoding word spell search engine. Okay, right there. All right, this is counters the words in the dictionary, because dictionaries die your erection. This is why it's called or named dictionary. Okay, dictionary. Okay, a dick is detached, soul, severed, ka. The D is detached, the I is for soul, man. You have the upright stroke with the ball ahead of it. The ball up top is Ra. Okay, that is soul. Okay, the upright stroke is the being, the upright being, the lowercase I. You have C, which is half of a circle. Okay, the circle is what the draconians use to represent source or the all. Okay, when you cut it in half, that means it is severed. Okay, one half is the shell, the other half is the sound. The sound has been removed. And then you have K that tells you it's for ka, even though they share the same sound. Okay, so they're building commands in language. And this is why it's very, very important that you appreciate what I am doing and get involved. Okay? And so today's lesson, is going to be about the words apology and sorry. Okay? Because they don't mean the same thing and they mean very, very different things. Okay? We're dealing with polarity. And it's extremely important that, especially going through words like forgiveness, sorry, apology, these are things that are not only used multiple times a day, they are codes that either evolve things or, revolve them, meaning they continue the loop. All right? So the first word we're going to look at is apology. I'm going to read what DeepSeek has said. I asked it so that it can give you the consensus meaning so I can contrast it through decoding. Okay? So offering an apology, the act of accountability. An apology is a process that involves acknowledging responsibility, expressing regret, and making amends. It is a structured attempt to repair trust. A true apology often contains some or all of these elements. Acknowledgement, specifically stating what you did wrong. Responsibility, taking ownership without excuses. Empathy and remorse, expressing genuine regret for the impact of your actions. Repair, making a commitment to change or offering to fix it. Okay, when is it necessary? For betraying trust, when you have intentionally or neglectedly harmed someone, or negligently, harmed someone, and also to repair a significant relationship, personal or professionally. Okay, so now we are going to look at sorry. Yeah. Okay. So saying sorry, the expression of regret. A sorry is primary an expression of feeling, usually regret, sympathy, or embarrassment. Focus on the present feeling. Scope can be for things you didn't directly cause. Depth, often superficial. It can be an automatic social lubricant to smooth over a minor awkwardness. Responsibility may or may not involve taking responsibility for a specific wrong. Okay, when is it used? For minor accidental infractions, to express sympathy in casual situations. Okay, so very interestingly, apology seems to be, more of what saying sorry should be, right? Apology, you have to be accountable. It seems to be more sincere and authentic, and they claim and they describe sorry as being, superficial. This is very, very interesting because now we are going to use sound logic to decode these two words. Now, the first word we're going to decode is apology. Okay? So when we look at the word apology, right away you have apology. Okay? So when I sound out that name Apollo, okay, I'm thinking about Lucifer. I'm thinking about that serpent in the Garden of Eden. Okay? That's what I'm thinking about. But what I also want you to realize that the Apollo, the Apollo, the apple in the Garden of Eden all stand for this. Application. What kind of application? Parasite application. Okay? When is an application needed? When the soul body requires an augmentation. Okay? So in this case, God removed our senses by giving us the word. So we now no longer use our senses, okay? Our taste, our smell, our feeling, and our touch. Okay, your eyesight is not a sense. I wrote a book on this, okay? The Fall of God's Eyes. You guys should download this book, buy this book. It's absolutely revolutionary, okay? It's got all the ingredients that the quantum physics are trying to accomplish. But most importantly, it hits home on the reality on how we are manipulated, how men fall. Okay? This is trying to find it here. Okay. Right there. Okay? The Fall of God's Eyes, the optical override hypothesis. Okay? This is a big, big, big book. You guys definitely need to get this book. All right? So, back to apology. Okay? The AP is for application. Okay? Equals app. Okay? The OL equals all. Okay? This is all. If you recognize when I have my mantra at the beginning of my introduction, I always say, may your mind, baka, and soul be all. Okay, I don't say all, like ALL, because that means al goal. Okay, the artificial all. Okay, AL is the parasite version of OL. Okay, but it means entirety. It means the whole. Okay, now we also have OG, which equals flat. Okay, it's flat. Why is it flat? Because it's opposite of GO. Okay, this is how we're reading this code. You also have L before the G. Okay, so this means log. Okay, so remember that OL replaces AL. Okay, so if OL replaces AL and LOG is log, if we reverse LOG, we get GOL. And that is Apollo, Al Goal. It's all the same character, all the same shit, all the same code. Al Goal. This is AI. Okay, this goes back to your application. Okay, your virus application. What is it augmenting? It's augmenting our operating system. What is our operating system? Sound. Because we're souls. Souls go by sound. That's what sound is. It's your soul. Okay, just think about if you were a computer, your soul would be saved on a hard drive. Okay, so when that computer expires, or you need to you've upgraded your computer. So just imagine you have kids, and that's considered your upgrade. Okay, so you're taking that soul file, right, which is all your experiences, okay, and you're transferring it to that new computer, which is an extension of you, which is your children, your kin. Okay, if you were to transition on, meaning separate from your flesh and your body, your sound, your sensory self, then that same file is going to be filed to the ore. Okay, so this is raw. This is the seon. This is the ether. Okay, and so if the experiences in your disc were upright, non-corrupted, then obviously, you continue on inside the ETH, right? Just like a program, if there's no virus, it's going to be able to be introduced to your operating system along with your software, and it will be able to be a function of that body. Okay, but if it's not virus free. If it's corrupt file, the only way ether can maintain eternity is if it's never corruptible. It can't be corrupted. Okay, this is the only way it maintains, what we call space. All right, and so we got to look at, the words that we use very, very seriously, because this is, the mark of the abyss, not the beast. Okay, so now we have Y, which means you're in agreement. Okay, you are in agreement with that code. Okay, with the application of Apollo. Okay, so when you're apologizing, like I always say, our language puts us in the classification of a parasite. Okay, so apologizing basically states you would apologize if you did a sound behavior. So if you did something good, like plant a seed and sprinkle the water on it, you would be owing an apology. Okay, we can see this now coming to fruition because the red sun, which is the Seon, which is Ra, is here. Okay, and so the word of God, these Draconians were able at one time to play both God and the devil. Okay, so now that the real source of intelligence is here, which comes through the what you see as the red sun, specifically the red one, not the yellow or orange sun, the red one. This is the one that contributes to the genes, to the blood, to all that kind of stuff. Okay, you would realize that this is definitely, a situation where you're having all of these laws that are being produced, like you can't go out in nature. It just should be very, very clear. My handle is World War Sun, because that is what it has always been. It has been a war against Mother Nature. In order for these parasites to have any form of validation, to have any excuse for being a thing, they obviously have to present as the solution. So in order to create a problem with something that is sound, you have to make it unsound. Okay? And so by removing our telepathy, having us first communicate by writing our things down, or even speaking to what we are thinking, gave the devils an opportunity to control our behaviors, because we had to state our behaviors before our action. Okay, telepathy is all about thinking and doing. There's nothing in between. Okay, there's no consequence to worry about. Okay, when you're sound, between thinking and producing the ore. Okay, this is what I decoded time for in November 2023. Okay, I broke the time code. Okay, I'm the one who introduced the true meaning of time to the whole planet. Okay? So now that's apologizing. Apologizing is establishing yourself as a parasite. Again, imagine being a parasite, knowing that you're a parasite, knowing that you're supposed to be doing disagreeable things, and by accident you did something agreeable. You acted as a soul. So for acting as a soul, you need to apologize. Okay? Now we're going to look at the word sorry. So remember, sorry is set up as flimsy, okay, as non-sincere, okay, as just surface. Apologize, as we found out, is the true virus program. We don't want it, okay, but yet it is described as being the more sincere, accountable, what we should be doing. So really, sorry shouldn't have been introduced to our vocabulary based on apology, right? But we know that the behavior is separated from the word code. Even though the actions that you see as described in apology do occur, okay, when we are acknowledging that we are apologizing and we're crediting etheric behaviors to the application, it's exactly that. The application gets the credit. The application becomes the trust. Okay? And this is why they have the saying, in God we trust. All right? We can't trust the words because God is a trickster. Okay? It's not sound. Anything that's sound can be either or. Okay? We don't deal in duality. I killed a duality in May the 4th, I believe, is when I killed that duality spell, if I could remember. Okay? So now the word sorry. Okay? So remember, Ra is back. Remember, there was duality. Remember, God was able to say be both good and evil. Okay? But now it could only be disagreeable. I broke the code evil for meaning etheric vassal. Okay? It doesn't mean evil like to do something harm. Okay? Again, they put the good words on the bad behaviors and bad words behaviors to the good bad good behaviors to bad words. Everything is reversed. Okay? Sorry. The S-O is for sow. Okay? Like seeds. Okay? The S alone can be say, like to speak to thoughts. Okay? The O-R is or. Okay? This is what we are in. We're in or. This is what keeps things. Everything is a form of or. Okay? Or is what space really is. Okay? Space is say, parasite, sever. So when we agree that we're living in a space, then we're agreeing that we should be severed as parasites because that is the calling for a space. Space is say, parasite, okay, sever. Okay, this is what space means. Okay, we don't want to use the word space. We want to use the word or, ethor. We are in ethor. Okay, not space. Okay, so now the R, the re, the sound re, sorry, the R equals Ra. Okay, Re and Ra is the same. When you have Ra A, it's the seon that is radiating. To radiate replaces the word broadcast. Okay, radiance is like speaking. Radiance is sound waves being delivered. Okay, or being received, transmitted. All right, and then we have Y. This is to be in agreement. Okay, when you celebrate the seon, you're standing upright and your two hands are above, right? But if you notice, there's no head, they're just two hands. So if you don't have a head and your hands are up, this means that you are following a command. Okay, you're just going along, you're in agreement. Okay, if you have a head here and you now have your hands up, now you're in agreement with Ra. Okay, so this is agreement with Yahweh. Okay, we have to understand that code Yahweh obviously is a corrupted code. I did many videos on that. Okay, you have to recognize that that means agree to bring woes to the air. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so the code for sorry, okay, means sow, to continue to sow or. Okay, so on the opposite spectrum, if apologizing means that you are a parasite that acted like a soul, okay, and you're being scolded for it, to apologize would be saying, I'm going to act as the parasite application. I'm going to be true to the parasite application. On the other hand, when we say sorry, that is a soul now that did a disagreeable behavior, and they're proclaiming that they're going to go back to serving Ra, serving source, serving, the solar voice, serving Ma Thor. Okay, this is what it means. But even the word sorry, because we have the Y there, okay, it's still a trap. It's gonna send you back to Yahweh. Okay, so this sends you to Apollo, all goal. This sends you back to Yahweh. Remember what I said. God in the Bible says he's both good and evil. These draconians, when the red Seon was on the outside of our atmosphere, they were able to act in place of Ra. The whole Egyptian paradigm and everything like that, you can clearly see all of their figureheads have a red sun above them. Even in the Christian Judah, all of them have their gods underneath the sun or the sun behind them. That's to show that they are operating in the authority of Source. Okay? Now, that's false authority. Okay? We know this now. We know this now. All right? So that's the difference between saying sorry and apologize. That's apologize decoded. That is sorry decoded. Okay? We want to be sorry. This is what we want. Okay? And so just remember all this psychological events around saying sorry. You have many, many people prescribed to the belief that you shouldn't be sorry. You shouldn't apologize for anything. Okay? So I agree that you shouldn't apologize for everything, and sorry should be switched up to mean what apology means. Right? And apology should be the superficial one, because apology goes to Apollo, who is AI, which is it's artificial. Okay, it's artificial. Okay, and so sorry is positioned as the artificial way of being excused. Okay, so we got to flip that. We can't apologize under any circumstance if you are a soul or if you are part of the sound logic tribe, the Mathorians, the Stemrodians, okay, the Bakas, the Ba'am and Oraz, okay, the whole sound syndicate. Okay, if you're a part of this by joining Jesus.com and being solarized, then we are in a situation where we are in the process of sowing Ra, okay, sowing ore. And this is what we need to do. The command of Kagadora means your Ka, go, do, Ra. So this means be like sun and shine. Okay? Go help life. Go erect life. Go build life. Okay? This is the commands of be fruitful is coming from Ra. Okay? This is the command because you got to look at it as it is. Okay? Seeds are sown, sun is shining, the elements interact. This is how things become erected. Okay, this is how we are. Okay, Ra wants you to stand up with your stretch out, reaching for the sun. It wants you fully extended upright. Okay, all other gods want you in a fetal position on that ground. Okay, bowing your head down. Right? You understand that? Okay, the only thing that you can't really look at is the sun. Okay, you can't look directly at the sun. I mean, I do, but for the most part, most people can't do that. Okay, and that's just because the energy is too strong. Okay, but if you look at how it is positioned in our reality, okay, when we're bowing, we are not looking at what is above us that we're bowing to. All right, I'm thinking that something is standing and we are at its foot. Okay, we really got to change this from a symbolic thinking to a sound thinking. And I hope this video helped you accomplish that. This is Christopher A. Chaplin, Tata Amin Ra. I am the sound Messiah. I am the Vicar. Okay, and I say V-I, that's the vassal. The I is the soul man. The K-A is the Ka of Ra, Vikara. Okay, not Vicar like the Pope. Okay, they all speak for the devils and the demons. Okay, I am truly the contrast. And I hope you join me. And hey, if you want to believe and have faith in something, then yeah, have faith and believe in sound logic. Ta'ang ka'u, join us. Buy, support, like, share, comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely subscribe. All right, so possibly I can use that as a platform to go live and everything else. We need support, people. Okay, just look at all the things that I'm doing right away. Get yourself on the timeline. That's what you guys need to do. Okay, that's the number one thing to do to crush this shit, is get off that timeline, get off that ledger. All right? Ta'anka'u, that is thank you. Until the next video.